All right, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to day 4 of our training program. And today we are going to start working with the other important formulas and functions. So go to our file name called case studies. And to remind you, we have done up to our VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP over there. And today we are going to work with the other side of our VLOOKUP called VLOOKUP with approximate match. So far it has been written as a mystery for us, or we are not clear way to use, how to use. And people, those who have taught us what is VLOOKUP, they have never told us what is VLOOKUP with approximate match, because we have been following only VLOOKUP with exact match and which ends up with zero. If I'm not wrong, correct? So the file name is case studies, sheet name is VLOOKUP with approximate match. So VL approx, the sheet name you would be finding. Kindly confirm once the same Excel sheet is opened in front of your screen. All right. Now, VLOOKUP with approximate match. Where to use? Technically, when the value is not having a one-to-one match, but it follows in a range. Like take an example. What kind of data may fall in a range? So if you talk about numbers, definitely. If not exactly matching, it may be following in the range. So those cases, how to get our data, how to get the output, we have to use VLOOKUP with approximate match. Not with the text. So if you go for the text, if you believe that partially some characters are matching, that also should be brought by VLOOKUP with approximate match. No, because the logical things are being different when you go for VLOOKUP with approximate match. And just like your VLOOKUP with exact match, you cannot apply VLOOKUP with approximate match. So there are certain rules also you need to follow if you have to do the job. So let's see with a scenario how to deal with our VLOOKUP with the approximate match. Now take a look. We have got some vendor names and these are the quantities they have purchased. Now my management has given me a task stating that Prabhas, we are sending a circular to you, and based on the circular, the slab what we have provided, you have to award the discount percentage to those guys. Well, Lord, let's discuss that first. If I go for my quantity purchase over here, how much it is? 49. Now, which belt it is going to fall? If suppose somebody is purchasing 49, how much discount he is entitled to? So 10, 5, 9, I mean 3, we got multiple percentages. So first of all,
Sir,
Avinash, 3,
excuse me,
how it
sir.
is? Yeah.
Able to send the messages, sir. Can you please allow me to send the messages?
So Lakshmi, I'm not clear. I'm not able to hear you. Could you please be more louder?
I can't able to send the messages, sir.
No, we have never restricted anybody.
But it is
Sir,
coming
hello
like
sir. For me also, it's showing the same. You can't send message because you are not a member of chat like that.
exactly, sir. Me also.
No, we have not restricted to anybody because this is a common link for everyone. We have sent it across because I could receive the messages from Kavita, Avinash, Sumit, and all. So what I suggest is you please log out and log in once again. I'm just keeping it on hold.
Yeah,
We can
sir.
wait
Yeah.
for 2 minutes. Please
Yes,
log
sir.
out
Yeah.
and log in. Yeah.
Yes. Still it is coming like that, sir.
No, Sir Lakshmi, I did not receive any message.
Still it is not working, sir.
There might be some other issues because from our end we have not restricted anything, no admin rights, nothing we have set. It is just a common meeting link we have sent it across to others. Uh, well, no worries. You can unmute and speak. That is fine. When, whenever you have any queries. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Open this Agatika. Okay. Fine. So as we were discussing that if suppose somebody purchased 49, then is he matching with any of the criteria? No. But the data, whatever we are looking for, definitely is falling in a range. Though it is not having a one-to-one match or exact match, but somewhere the data is there in this range. So that is called nothing but your approximate match. Don't go by the dictionary words because as we learned our English dictionary, that approximate match is somewhere if the data is partially matching, we should get our result. But here in Excel language, it is a bit different. So approximate match is nothing but when the data falling in a range. So now 49. Definitely, it is falling in this belt, so the person will be entitled for 10% discount. If suppose somebody is having 9 quantities purchased, so it is falling in this category 0 to 10, so it will be allowed for 2% discount. 71, if you talk about, it comes in 51 to 75 category, and we should go for 20%. Okay, now take a look. If I go for is equal to VLOOKUP. No need to do anything, just watch my screen. VLOOKUP taking this data, and if I go for this scenario, and if I go for F4 to lock it, because we know when we copy this formula towards down, the range should not move down. And ideally, which column number? We are in this column, second, over here, now comma 0, what is called one-to-one match. We are not getting the result, right? You can notice that we are not getting the result. So up to result, whatever it is, suppose if I go for it and I delete the rest of the cases, fine. So at least I should get the result. I'm not getting. Reason, the data, whatever I'm looking for is not matching exactly over here, right? So what is exact match we have understood, but why this is not operating, we have understood that as well. So in this kind of scenario, what we do, problem we have understood. Now the solution part, what we do. Yep, anybody? Unmute and speak, no problem.
Replacing 0 with 1 to make
If
it
I go for,
approximate.
let's go for that. As you said, if I go for 0 with 1, if I replace, and if I do the result, did I receive anything?
No, not sure then.
Right. So in this case, ideally, if you ask anybody who knows Excel better, or in our corporates, anybody who is having bit of Excel good knowledge or expert, we call them, and if you take the support or help, what they suggest, they will ask you to go for multiple if formulas. Do you agree with me? So if you have 5 conditions, they will ask you write 5 if formulas in one cell. Now think about it. That is going to give you a solution, but how lengthy the formula would be. And the same formula, when you apply it multiple times, the file size will be more. If you remember, I told you in any Excel file, the more the if formula, file size will be heavy. Did you remember that? So that's the reason why in this kind of scenario, people, when the data is falling in a slab, like your income tax calculation, your discount calculation, incentive calculations, these are always falling in the slabs. So in those cases, you should not use if formula. Rather, you can replace the same with your VLOOKUP with approximate match. Where to use, we got the clarity, but how to use? As I told you, to apply VLOOKUP with approximate match, you have to follow 2 rules. Rule number 1, the data, whatever you have, it must contain a matrix. Now, what is the meaning by matrix? Just see. Watch my screen, no need to do anything. I will help you out with the solution, then I'll be giving time to try, don't worry. First, understand the concept. What is the meaning by matrix? See, I'll go for 0, I'll go for 11, and then the moment I go for it, this is my matrix. This is mandatory. Rule number 1, you must have a matrix to operate with your VLOOKUP with approximate match. Why matrix is essential? Because the data, whatever we are looking for, it has to be matched in my matrix. Now, what is the meaning by matrix? Now, suppose say this column is not available. How you are going to read the data? Like suppose say somebody is not purchasing anything, 0 quantity, I'll be giving 2%. That's not technically possible. So the person who purchases quantity, then only he will be eligible for discount. But here, what is the meaning? That more than 0 and less than 11. I repeat, more than 0 and less than 11. If suppose somebody purchase some quantity, then he will be eligible for 2% discount. So this is the theory for this kind of tabular data to read. Do you all agree with me? So that is nothing but the story. It is given over here for the understanding of this particular column. Okay. Now, why this column is essential? Rule number 1, we have understood because our data is going to be matched or checked in this column, not in this column, right? So now, rule number 2, the matrix, whatever you have designed, rule number 2 says that it must be in an order. Like if you look at our data, it is in smallest to largest order. So you can go for smallest to largest, or you can go for largest to smallest. It's not a problem, but that should be in an order. Yes, both the rules are satisfied. Now, here, what would be the formula? Now, take a look. I'll delete everything. I'll go for fresh is equal to VLOOKUP, taking the data from here. I'll go for now, taking this matrix column till discount percentage. I need to include everything. Now, this range should not go down when I copy the formula down, comma. In this array, how many columns are there? One, two, three. So discount percentage is in which column? Is in third column. So we should go for column index number as 3. Now comma. As such, we have learned about exact match that is falling with 0. I'll go for it. Did I receive the answer? No. But if I go for application of the same to others, somewhere, if it is matching something, say 51, if you look at over here, or if I go for, say, some other result, I'm getting the answer. Can you see that? So with 51 is matching exactly, I'll be getting the answer. But other cases like 56, though it is not matching, if I look at 56, though it is not matching, but this is falling in this range. Do you agree with me? Yeah. So it should fetch the result, which is not fetching. So what I need to do is just see, instead of going for exact match, I should go for approximate match, which ends up with 1. So that is what nothing but your approximate match. Now see the result. Earlier it was not showing the result, but now I receive my result for all the cases. But the answer, it is coming up in terms of decimals. What you're expecting in terms of percentage. I told you in day one already to convert any format to percentage. What was the keyboard shortcut? Anybody? Quickly. To convert any format to percentage. I told you, right? Control Shift 5. We discussed some keyboard shortcuts. Control Shift tilde for general, Control Shift 1 for number, Control Shift 3 for date, Control Shift 4 for currency, Control Shift 5 for percentage. All these things we have already discussed. So now, selecting the data, when you go for Control Shift 5, did you receive your results properly? Yes. So this is how people, whenever there is a need, how to apply our VLOOKUP with approximate match, we got the clarity. So give it a try and check you are receiving the results. Any difficulties, feel free to ask. So where to apply, I told you. So taking the live data, you can apply this, not a problem. And you can minimize your efforts. File size will not be heavy, and data processing also will be very faster. So if at all any difficulties, do let me know. Well, I got a confirmation from Sumit. How about others? All right. So, Swagatika, Kavita, if you're unable to drop a confirmation message, you can unmute and speak and confirm, please, also. And Sri Lakshmi.
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Fine then. So, I believe now everybody is clear with our VLOOKUP with approximate match people. Okay. Now, I'm going to take you through over here certain things the other day we discussed already. Like, if I want to go for VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, we discussed about certain rules. Did you remember? Like VLOOKUP purpose, data has to be vertical. HLOOKUP purpose, data has to be horizontal. Now, suppose say, if I want to apply a formula, VLOOKUP, if the data is not in vertical, again, I have to remember that I have to apply HLOOKUP. If there is a duplicate in place, VLOOKUP will always pick the first value. What if I need all the values? All these scenarios also still existing, right? VLOOKUP says the data flow has to be always left to right. What if my data flow has been right to left? So all these chances are there. Then what we do in that case? We always go for combinations of many more formulas and we try to get the solution because we need the solution, right? Now there is a lot of pain again to remember many more formulas, right? So to remember many more formula, is it a challenging one? Is it a painful one? Yes or no? Definitely yes, right? So in this case, imagine if I give you the solution of all these problems with one formula. I repeat, instead of going for VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP with combinations of many more formula, if I give you the solution with only one formula, will that be good enough? Will you be happy knowing about that? Right? So there is something we are going to discuss now, people. As I told you in day one, if you are having Office 365 or 2021 or 2024 version of Microsoft Excel at your workplace, you are really blessed. So let's take some blessings of that of 365 and how to solve all these problems with one formula. Let's go and discuss about that. There is a sheet over here, people, naming called MS Excel 365 functions. Okay. So we are going to discuss about that. And those who are having Office 365 or 2021 or 2024, they can parallelly work with me whenever I say. And those who are having 2016 or 2019, then you have to only watch my screen. But yes, tomorrow when you upgrade your system, MS Office version, you can also make use of those flavors. So let's go and discuss about that. So technically, we are going to discuss about a beautiful formula and we call it as father of all the lookup formulas, naming X lookup. What is that? X lookup. So how to use this X lookup, where to use, we are going to discuss in detail. So let's first understand the situation. Take a look. We have got a master data of 10,000 employees. Like we have the employee ID, name, department, position, salary of 10,000 people. Now my boss asked me, Pravas, do me a favor. I am looking for a template in such a way, whenever I go and type any employee ID, automatically the salary should be displayed on the screen. So if I am going to do this job, we know we can go for VLOOKUP. So how to apply VLOOKUP is equal to VLOOKUP. Look at my screen, no need to go and apply this. Lookup value is this table array, is the complete table array. Now I need to go for column index number. So which one I am looking for? Salary. Salary is in which column? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I should go for 5. And what kind of match is a 0 for exact match? So this is how we get our solution. Do you all agree with me? This we look up formula. Simple. And we have already discussed about all these things. Do you all agree with me? Yep. Now the same thing, we are going to get the answer by using XLOOKUP. Now see how. As I told you, to understand a formula very easily, always focus on the arguments. Now take a look. XLOOKUP, it demands me lookup value. What is the meaning by lookup value? VLOOKUP also asks for lookup value. HLOOKUP also asks for lookup value. So lookup value is nothing but what we have with us to search, correct? Now come on. Lookup array. So what is the meaning by lookup array? So when I'm looking for employee ID in my master data where employee IDs are there, I need to search in that area only. So that becomes your lookup array. So whatever your lookup value, wherever it is appearing, though it is in a particular column or a particular row, that you have to set it across as lookup array. Now come on. Asking for return array. So return array is nothing but your answer key. So what you are looking for, salary. Now how the salary is arranged in one column. So I could select that entire column. That's it. And the moment you hit enter, you got the same answer. Now you tell me which one is easy to operate and easy to understand. XLOOKUP or VLOOKUP. You can consider. So there is no confusion about column index number, no need for exact match, nothing, because by default, XLOOKUP always takes the default match as exact match. Now try this, those who are having Office 365, and confirm you are getting answer. Any difficulties, feel free to ask.
It's coming, sir.
Right. Well, as much as it's confirmed, how about others? Well, great. Abhinav also confirmed. So how to write our XLOOKUP? Okay, can we use only XLOOKUP then instead of V or H for 365? Of course, Aishman. That's the reason why I'm explaining all these things. So when you have the advanced version of Microsoft Excel, then why don't you use such kind of features? So that's the reason only why I always recommend go for Office 365 to make your job easy. All right. Now, coming to the next level, where else we can apply our XLOOKUP? Just take a look at this. We have got a quantity and discount slab. Just see, recently only we have just calculated VLOOKUP with approximate match. Now focus on this slab. Suppose somebody is purchasing 28 quantities. How much discount you will give it to him? If it is of 28, somebody purchased, how much discount will be giving it to him? So Avinash is saying 10%. Can somebody justify that? Is he right? Sumit is saying 20%. So now the confusion arises, 10 or 20. Can somebody validate that?
It's a matrix. It's just 0 to 10 for value for 0% discount. 10 to 25 it's 5%, and 25 to 50 it's 10%.
Mhm.
So then our quantity is 20. It's come under third, 25 to 50. 10%
See,
discount.
try to understand. Here, don't try to apply the same logic. First, try to understand the numbers. If you go for over here, what we have taken 0 to 10. So 0, we have given 2%. Okay. So there the matrix was different. Here the matrix was different. So here 0 means 0% only. Try to understand the logic. Now more than 0, up to 10%, up to 10 quantities. More than 0, but up to 10. So 0 to 10, if you go for it. So more than 0, but up to 10, it is of 5% category. Then more than 10, up to 25, 10% category. More than 25, but up to 50, 20% category. Then more than 50, up to 100 or 100 and above, you can consider later if you have the matrix, but we don't have. So maximum we have to 100 only. Okay. So in this case, 28 somebody is purchasing, which bucket it is going to fall? Not in this. It goes for next level, right? Because the maximum limit is up to 25. When you go for 10%. So ideally, it should fall in 20%, right? So the bucket is of our 20%. So this is how not only one case, there are so many customers we have, and depending upon the quantity they have purchased from us, we need to award the discount. So here 20%, how to get that? Now take a look. If I go for VLOOKUP, as I told you, when the data is falling in a range, I should go for VLOOKUP with approximate match. Recently only we discussed, so definitely we'll go for that. Now, no need to do anything, just watch my screen. I'll go for lookup value. Yes, table array is this. Fine. Comma. Column index number. Is the second column is containing discount? Yes. Now, instead of exact match, I'll go for approximate match since my data is falling in a range. Now, when I go for it, it gives me 10. But technically, if it gives me 10, then it is wrong. So VLOOKUP is unable to fetch the right answer for me in this case, right? But what we have now, we have got XLOOKUP. Now see the beauty. What VLOOKUP fails doing the job for us, how XLOOKUP is helping us to get the answer. So I'll go for XLOOKUP. Just watch my screen first. I'll go for lookup value. Is this? Yes. So when I've taken the quantity, where I have to search as a lookup array in the quantity column, don't include the header, always take the data points, comma. Return array, where is your answer key? Discount, taken, comma. Then it is asking if not found. So there is no such kind of scenario that quantity will become zero. If it is zero, we are not bothered about it giving a discount. If it is having some value, then only we have to think about it, right? So we can ignore this. Just put one more comma, we can ignore this. Now see, what it is demanding is your match mode. So match mode, if you look at match mode, it is asking 0 called exact match. So we look up with exact match, what it does, that is there over here. Now, exact match or next smaller item, what we look up with approximate match does. Now there is one more exact match or next larger item, which XLOOKUP has the power to do this activity. So we should take exact match or next larger item. So when I go for it, double click on that, it will automatically apply the value over there called 1. Now hit enter. Can you see? I'm getting 20. But the problem is I have got 20%. So the percentage symbol is missing. How to get that? You cannot go and convert into percentage value something like this, Control Shift 5. It will take 2000 percentage, which is not going to help me. So how to get it? Just see. Anything when you multiply with 1%, the value will remain the same and it will be converting into percentage, correct? So we'll go for that. Now, the moment you hit enter, answer turns up in decimals, but what we are expecting in terms of percentage. Now you can go and apply any format to percentage format, Control Shift 5. So this is how, whenever you have the data in slab people, you want to go for it. When VLOOKUP fails to answer properly, XLOOKUP is having the power to get your right answer over here. So give it a try and confirm your XLOOKUP is working perfectly for you. Yeah, it is coming up, Aishman. Don't worry. I'll give you entire each and every arguments where and how to apply. All right. So Aishman and Sumit, they confirmed it is working fine for them.
Yeah,
Anybody
it's
who is,
working.
yeah, great. Anybody else who is having 365 and this function is giving any trouble? All right. Now, let us see any other situation where and how to use this XLOOKUP. Now, take a look over here on my screen. We have a master data, okay, of entire 10,000 employees. Now, suppose say my boss asked me, Pravas, get me a template in such a way, whenever I go and type any of the employee ID, the corresponding details should appear over here. So take a look over here. If my boss is expecting ID 003, now who is that person? Is Mr. C. What is the department? HR. What is the position? Assistant. How much is the salary? 300. So this entire thing should appear at once over here. How to get it? Now, if I go for VLOOKUP, I can get only one formula, one cell, or one column answer. So I have got multiple columns to bring the answer over here. So technically, when I drag the formula, I need to change my column index numbers. So that is again, we have to do it manually. Else, some people they will suggest you go and change the column headers just over here and give the numbers to them and then take the value from here. So this is what is really again painful job, and we have to give some we have to take some additional help of some helper columns, all these things we have to do. So VLOOKUP alone is not helping us over here. It needs the combinations of or the support of other formulas to get this executed or to get this done. But right now, what we have with us is XLOOKUP. Now see the beauty, how XLOOKUP has the ability to get your answer in one shot without taking any other formula help over here. Take a look. So first try to understand, watch my screen. I'll go for is equal to XLOOKUP. Okay. Lookup value is this. Perfect. Lookup array formula is demanding. So when I'm taking my employee ID, it should go and search in the employee ID column. Yes, comma. It is asking return array. Now, what is that answer key we are expecting? So name is there. We can give name, but we are not only looking for name. We are looking for department, position, salary, everything. So I should go and select everything. I should select everything. Now see the beauty, the moment I hit enter, can you see ID 003, entire details of that particular row automatically I am getting the answer over here. Now there are assistant over here, the data headers are missing. I'll just cut it and paste it and I'll be getting the result, right? So this is how people where VLOOKUP fails to do their job and it needs to support some other formulas. Whereas XLOOKUP has the ability to get the entire array with one go, one click. So instead of going for VLOOKUP, you can make use of this XLOOKUP. Give it a try, check it's working. Any doubt, any queries, do let me know. Fine. So how to get multiple column value at once the lookup value is matched? We have understood that by using XLOOKUP, right? Now, let us see where else we can use this XLOOKUP formula with a scenario again. Just see. Suppose say I have got my department wise. Suppose there are three different locations. I have my organization or office. And based on the department, how much is the head count? All these details are there in my location wise details over here. Now, suppose say my boss asked me a question, Pravas, get me or design me a template or report in such a way. Whenever I go and type any department over here, the corresponding head count should be available over here. Okay. So now kindly take a call here. The first thing is how to get that option that I can select any department out of this so that I can avoid the spelling mistakes. Because if I allow someone to type anything over here, there might be a chance of committing mistakes. So just to prevent such kind of mistakes to happen or errors to happen, we can control the same by establishing a data validation or a drop-down list. So how to design a drop-down list over here so that people will have the options only to select from that drop-down. So any department, whenever they are looking for, that drop-down should display all the department names. So for that, we can simply do one thing. We can just keep our cursor next to the department cell, right click on that. So when you go for right click, what is the very first option you see on your right click? Anybody? When you go for right click on that cell, what is the first option you see on that? You see cut, copy, something you see?
Yeah. Cut.
Yeah, this is how we believe. But technically, we have something else. Can you see a smart search option is there also there in the right click, which we never pay attention. So this is what the beauty of Office 365 people. You will be getting a beautiful smart option, search options in our right click itself. And there you go and type over there. There you go and type over there, valid. So when you go for validation option over here, people, and if you select, it will take you to your data validation dialog box on the screen. Okay. Now there, validation criteria allow any value instead, we can go for over here, typing the list because we are going to create a list of the department names in the department cell, right? So you should go for the drop down and name it as list. Now immediately a source box will be opened in front of our screen. Source box. In this source box, you can select all the department names because we are looking for the department and the data is being here and we can take that. Don't include the header, just take the data points only. Now click OK and you will be finding a beautiful option over here, a data validation. Okay. So how to create a drop-down list, we got the clarity. Now if I go and select finance, right? So kindly confirm the first step for this particular template or report purpose, the element what we need, how to create a drop-down list. Is it clear? So any difficulties? Anybody? I got three confirmation.
Sir, after selecting the validation, how to select the HR to production? Just show me one time.
Yeah. So once you get data validation, first in
Yeah.
the allow button, you have got any value as
Yes,
a
sir.
drop down. You have to
Yeah.
choose list out of it.
Okay, sir.
And once you select list, your source box will open for you. And
Yes,
then
sir.
keeping the cursor in source box, you should select your HR2 production this department names.
Okay. Yeah, done, sir. Thank you.
Now, suppose say I have selected finance. Now take a look at this. If my boss asks me, Pravas, let me know how many people are working in our finance department. What will be your answer? Just manually check and tell me. If you look at finance, how many people are there? There are over here. If you look at 10,418 people. This is the total answer we should receive. Do you agree with me? But how to get that? Now take a look. If I go for VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP will be giving me either Pune or Mumbai or Kolkata. It will never give the combinations of all this data. Do you agree with me? If I go for VLOOKUP to find the result for finance, it will be giving either Pune as column 2, Mumbai column 3, or Kolkata column number 4. I can get the result like this. Either of them, not all these three, right? So definitely VLOOKUP fails over here to get the answer. Now, if I want to go for VLOOKUP, then I have to apply three VLOOKUPs over here with plus symbol. That is very painful and it will be lengthy. Okay. But what we have right now is XLOOKUP. Now see the beauty. Where VLOOKUP fails to bring the answer, how XLOOKUP is being so helpful to us. Okay. So I'll tell you 1 minute, watch my screen over here. Equal to, I'll go for XLOOKUP. Lookup value is this. Perfect. So when I'm taking department, I have to go on search in department. Okay. Comma. Return array. What I'm expecting. I need everything. Correct. So when I go for and hitting enter, it gives me the entire result, but I'm getting individual result. But what we are expecting, the total of that. So when we are getting the individual results, then we know how to get a total. So the entire results, if I go and keep it within some formula, within some, I will keep everything. So since XLOOKUP is giving all the data, I can return the sum formula over there. Now see the beauty. What we are expecting, we get the answer. We don't need any other formula. So our XLOOKUP has the ability to get all these records total. So that's what the beauty, people. If you have 365, you can make use of that. So give it a try and confirm you are getting the answer. Trust me, you don't need any other formula. Our regular activities, what we do, 90% things will be done by XLOOKUP if you are a core user of Excel. Yes, you tried Ashman. The logic is perfect, but it's a formula, it's a function. So once you get the output, those output alone you can retain in some formula. Good. I'm glad you tried. See, this is how you should explore. I mean, whether it can be done, why not it is done like this? So this kind of questions you should ask yourself, then only you can get your better answer. So tomorrow when you come across those situations, you are ready with your answer, whether it is possible or not. You don't need to go and keep trying that. But yes, in the practice, you should keep asking. Any difficulties anybody is having, please feel free to ask. All right. So I believe it's working. Any difficulties, anybody?
Working, sir.
Yeah. So whatever I'm saying, these all are real-time situations. Trust me. Though your accounts, finance, production, planning, HR, safety stores, wherever you are working with, while designing any kind of reports, you may come across, you not may, you will definitely come across this kind of situations. All right, so I'll take you through the next situation. Just watch my screen over here. Suppose say we have got our department wise last 3 years headcount data. Okay. Now what my boss asked me, Prabhas, get me a template in such a way, whenever I go on type any of the department or any of the year, that combinations of data, what is the headcount, I should get the result. Now say department. If you look at the department, whichever the department I select, then whichever the year I select, based on that combinations, data should be the answer. Now, if you look at our data safety, safety is over here, 2019. So if you look at 2019, how much is the data? 3100. So answer should be 3100. We should get that. But that is not just one time answer. It is not a static data. It has to be dynamic. So to make it something dynamic, we learned one thing. We should have a ready-made drop down. Then only we can make our dynamic selections, right? So to make a drop down, as we discussed, what you need to do? Anybody quickly, if you remembered?
Right click and then go to the data validation and then select
Right.
the list.
Absolutely. Very good. Are you comfortable doing the same?
Yep.
Okay, very good. So if you are lucky, I mean, if you are really happy by doing such kind of operations, I'm glad. But going to right click on the cell, again, looking for that smart search option, typing the data, validate, then selecting validation and getting the data validation. I don't think that will be a great option. Rather, I would be making your job easy. Take a look. Keeping your cursor in that cell, on your keyboard, press Alt D for data, L for validation. Alt D L. You'll be getting your data validation dialog box in this screen. Now you tell me which one is easy. Alt D L or right click, going to smart search, typing valid, selecting validation.
Shortcut is better.
Definitely. So as I told you in day one itself, if you want to save your time, you should train yourself with the keyboard shortcuts. So I gave you both the options. So whichever it is convenient for you, you can opt it. Now, going to settings over here, Validation criteria allow any value. Instead of that, we are following a list. So go for list option. Source box, for which button we are creating department. So we should go and select departments. Okay. Now all the departments are on. You can notice. Similarly, we need to have one more drop down. What is that? Again, go for keeping the cursor next to year, Alt D L, and then going to the allow. Instead of any value, go for list and search source box. What you need to do is the year. So we should select 2018, 19, and 2020 and click OK. You got another drop down ready, naming with the year. Now you go and select from department, say finance, and year. I should go for 2020. Now, this combination data we are looking for. So finance 2020, how much is supposed to be? Let's first discuss that. So finance 2020 answer is supposed to be 3436. Do you all agree with me? So how to get that? Okay, now take a look. Here, if I go for as the existing knowledge, whatever I have got first two data to search, one from the department side, one from the year side. So if I'm going for finance department to search, I should go and search in one vertical options. If I'm looking for year, I have to search in the horizontal section. So something from vertical, I know I can apply VLOOKUP. Something from horizontal, if I'm searching, I know I can apply HLOOKUP. But here, I don't need two values. I just need the combination wherever it is intersected, that combination data I'm looking for. So where VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP is matching with the data, that combinations we are looking for. So we cannot apply VLOOKUP with HLOOKUP because VLOOKUP gives the answer one, HLOOKUP also gives one answer. So which one should consider? That is the biggest question mark. So here again, what it happens, people, VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP alone, this is not going to help us. We have to depend upon some other formulas like match with VLOOKUP or the HLOOKUP with match. People always prescribe and they always suggest to go for this. But we don't need that. What we have, XLOOKUP. Now see the beauty. How XLOOKUP has the ability to sort the data vertically and horizontally as well. So first watch my screen. I'll go for XLOOKUP. What it is asking, lookup value. So I have got two value to look into. So either you can start from year or you can start from department. Choice is yours. There is no hard and fast rule. Now suppose say I have started from department as my lookup value. Now lookup array. So when I'm taking department, I need to go and search in department only. Pretty clear. Comma. Return array. Where is the answer key? So answer, it is 2020. If it is just static data, I should have selected like this. But this cell is dynamic because we have a drop down. So whenever the drop down is changing for something, my year also is supposed to change like that. Do you agree with me? So on change of the drop down, my return array also supposed to be changed. Do you agree with me? So in this case, how to get it dynamic? Rather taking a static data, something like this, how to make it dynamic? Over here, take a look. So return array, I cannot give a static range like this. So what we can do, we have to go for one more XLOOKUP. So what it demands me, lookup value. So I have to, already one is taken for first XLOOKUP. Now the year I will take it, comma, lookup array. So when I'm taking my year, I could see my data is there in horizontal section. I take that, comma. Now it is asking return array. Where is your answer? I need everything because I don't know which column it is going to fetch. And that should be based on the drop down. So now inner X lookup bracket close, outer X lookup bracket close. And the moment you hit answer, did you receive the result? Yes. So this is how people this formula is going to really save a lot of time for you, and it has the ability to search your data horizontally and vertically as well. So taking the live data, keep practicing and using the same. And whenever you go for any dashboard or you go for any kind of templates or any kind of summary reports, you can make use of that formula. Give it a try, check it's working. Any doubt, feel free to ask. Yes, absolutely, Ashwin. Fine. So XLOOKUP, how to search our data vertically and horizontally. We have understood that. Now let's go for next situation. Just see. We have our entire data sets or master data over here of 10,000 people. Now, if I ask you, get me the salary of employee ID 005, you can get it through VLOOKUP, you can get it through your XLOOKUP as well. We know that. But the problem is when you have VLOOKUP, take a look. If I go for VLOOKUP, taking the data, and if I go and select my table array and column index number as 5, comma 0, it is giving me the answer because my data is there. Now suppose say ID 007, if I choose, is it there in the ID list, ID 007, what I'm operating with, is it there? No. So what it returns? It returns hash NA. So this is an error. We have discussed in our day 2 as well already that how to do the right treatment with the errors. But this is a formula driven error. Why it is called as a formula driven error? If you look at your formula bar, the formula is displaying, correct? Now, this is what we have understood. Now again, what happens? People are not happy getting these errors or they don't like reading the errors like this. They are expecting if it is not available, then just why don't you give a text not available, nil, zero, or written as blank. People always expect something like this. Okay, then in that case, what VLOOKUP does, VLOOKUP has no power to handle this situation. Again, it needs a help of if error formula. What is that? If error. Now see, I'm just doing the job for you. So if I have to go and type if error and then at the end of VLOOKUP formula, I can type like not available. If I want, I should return within two double inverted quotes. So what happens now? So VLOOKUP alone is not helpful. Again, it needs the support of if error. So instead of remembering all these things, what we have right now, we have XLOOKUP. Now see the beauty, how XLOOKUP gives the result whatever we are expecting when the data is not matching or in case of data absence. We don't need to go and take the help of any other formula. XLOOKUP has the inbuilt capacity to hold all these kind of errors or to do the right treatment for these errors. See, I'll go for XLOOKUP, taking the data, employee ID. I'll go and look up in this employee ID column. Perfect. Now this is asking return array. Now what you're expecting? Return the salary. Yes. Now comma. Can you see we have the input called if not found. So this is nothing but the replacement of your if error formula. So when your data, whatever you are looking for, if it is not there in the master data, instead of returning the answer as an error, you can customize something the output like within two double inverted quotes, not available. So the formula has the inbuilt options. We no need to take the separate formula called if error. And the moment I hit enter, I'll be getting the result, right? So this is how people XLOOKUP has the inbuilt options of our if error. So kindly go for this and check it's working. So can you feel that how XLOOKUP has more power compared to the other lookup functions? So is it really justified giving the name as father of all the lookup functions? Yes, absolutely. All right. So I believe now the situation F, whatever we handle, all are clear with it. Okay. So again, I'm saying taking the live data, keep practicing and uses of all these inputs or the arguments of the formula and make your job easy. So internally in your organizations, wherever you are sending the reports to somebody, XYZ, your boss or your stakeholders, customers, vendors, no issues. As long as they are having Office 365, your XLOOKUP will work fine. So if the person whom you are sending, if he doesn't have XLOOKUP, then it will be a problem. But we have a solution. Before sending the file, we can make it as special value and we send it across, right? So let us make our job easy. The other end, people are not interested to see the formula. They want to see the output, correct? So we can send the output. Now, let us go for the next situation. Take a look, try to understand the situation. Suppose say here we have got employee IDs, name of the employees, and the date of joining and the age of those employees. Now suppose say my boss asked me, Pravas, get me the person's age, the person who joined in 1st January 2020. Now 1st January 2020, is it really mandatory that in that day only one person would have joined? There might be a chance more than one person would have joined, correct? But I want to know the person's age. Now take a look. In our date of joining column, how many people have joined in 1st January 2020? Can you see that? How many people? There are three people. If I would like to go for VLOOKUP formula, what VLOOKUP is going to fetch the answer? Anybody? Which answer VLOOKUP is going to return?
40. I think it will go from.
Yes, because we have already understood the rules. If you have the duplicates in place, VLOOKUP will always pick the first value. The other day we discussed, right? So here, if I go for VLOOKUP, which will pick the value of 40. Take a look, is equal to VLOOKUP. Lookup value is this. And I go for over here, date and age. And then I'll go for column index number 2, comma 0. So it will be giving me 40, right? Now suppose say My boss is saying, I don't want the first value as the answer. I want the last value as the answer, last entry. So instead of first entry, my boss is expecting the last entry. So instead of 40, I'm expecting 44 should be the answer. Do you think that VLOOKUP has the ability to do the job for you? No way. So in this case, how to get that? Because sometimes this will be also a need where, when you do for the entire year, you do the pricing analysis or you do some kind of analytical statements you are creating or designing, then at the year beginning, what was the price? At the year end, what was the price? If you want to fetch product wise, whatever you are procuring RM or any other kind of accessories or inventory items, you need to go for pricing analysis or variations analysis over there. So there VLOOKUP fails to give you the answer. Always we try to go for based on the date, we try to sort our data, then we take the first entry, last entry separately, and then we do design all our solutions. But here, see the beauty. What we have, XLOOKUP. Now, how XLOOKUP has the ability to search your data, not from top to bottom, even though from bottom to top, that is last to first, how it is searching the records, just see. First, watch my screen is equal to XLOOKUP, taking the lookup value, comma, lookup array. So when I'm taking the date, I should go and search in the dates, perfect, comma, return array. How to get your answer? Where is the return array? Answer key is the age, perfect. Now, if not found, that we know how to customize. So within two double inverted quotes, you want to get anything as answer. Suppose this date is not matching anywhere, you should get the answer NA. I have customized. Now, comma, exact match, next small item, larger item. So we are going for exact match. Then comma, when I go for it, it gives me search first to last. What VLOOKUP does. Search last to first. What XLOOKUP has the ability to do the job, and that is what we are expecting, right? So we'll go for it. And now the moment I go and hit enter, did you see? We receive the result as 44. So, any point of time, if you want to search your records, people, even from top to bottom or bottom to top, or search last to first or first to last, in XLOOKUP, we have the power. So, go and try this and check, is it coming well? Or any difficulties, you can ask me. So, any difficulties, feel free to ask people if you have any. Aisman, you can't get 35. See, you cannot expect that which one will be the your middle value, and nobody cares for that, right? So if I tell you a very simple example, in our economy also, does anybody care for the middleman? People care for only below poverty in the election manifesto. And when election happens, people come to power, they take care about only the industrialists who is in the above to the poverty line, right? So nobody cares for that. That's what a very simple example. And technical not needed. Mostly we are interested in the first entry or the last entry or the average of the data if you are having the numbers. All right, so can I take that, people? This X lookup, all the formula arguments, how to apply, where to apply with the live scenarios we discussed, and this is clear for you all. Any difficulties or any questions still running in your mind, you can ask me before proceeding further. All right. Fine then. Now I'm going to take you through one more beautiful situation, people, which was once upon a time, it was quite impossible task in Microsoft Excel, and we always used to do some ready-made arrangements and taking the multiple combinations of formula to get this job done. What is that exactly? Let's go and discuss with the situation. Like, as I told you, when you go for your VLOOKUP formula, what VLOOKUP does, VLOOKUP always take the first value if you have the duplicates. Now, what if I have the requirement wherever my data is matching all the matching entries I want? Say an example. Suppose I have got my entire expenses details of my employees of the whole organization, a abstract like this. In my department, these are the people who are working. I just want to know what is that amount they have spent, not the total. I want the individual denominations. What does it mean by individual denominations? Just see. Suppose I'm talking about Ram. In our abstract, if you look at Ram, how many times he has spent? One over here, two over here, three and four. So he has spent four times. I just don't want the total of those expenses. I just want the individual value of those expenses. Is there a way to get it? No. What we used to do, we used to apply filter. So I have got four employees. I need to do four different times filter. I have to copy those data separately in four different places or locations or columns. Then only I can get my answer. Do you agree with me? So this is one impossible task in Excel since 1985 till 2019 version of Microsoft Excel. But what we have right now is our Office 365. Now here, since we have got the advanced version of Office 365, how to make our job easy? Let's have a discussion. Now kindly take a look at my screen first, understand the logic, what I'm applying, and then I'll be giving time to try. Don't worry. So first understand the logic. See, here, there is a formula naming called text join. There is a formula naming called text join. What is the objective of this formula? This will be helping you to join multiple text or multiple values, whatever you have, but it will be helping you to join by using a separator, or in Excel language, we call it as a delimiter. So ideally, how you see your data differentiated, mostly we prefer to use commas, right? When you write some multiple values also, how do you differentiate? By using a comma. So here, this is what the demand. What is the delimiter you would like to use for segregating or joining your text? So I should go for comma, but comma, since it is a delimiter, we must use comma within two double inverted quotes. So anything, any text, ideally we prefer to write in Microsoft Excel. We take the help of two double inverted quotes. Now comma. This is asking ignore if empty. So if there is no data over here, suppose there is no value, it is not matching, if it is a blank cell, there is no point of taking those values. Yes, we don't want the values to be taken. Ignore if empty. Yes. Comma. Then it is asking me text 1, comma text 2, comma text 3. Now suppose say I go and give the comma like this, comma this, comma this. What happens? Just see. I am getting all my values combined like this. But what I don't want these values to be populated, right? What I'm expecting is the expenses. Now, this expenses, how to get it? Satisfying the condition. So whenever you want to establish a condition, we know we have listened already discussed in day one, we'll go for if formula. Then it demands me logical test. So What is that? We need to do a test like my employee Ram, if it is means equal to where to check in the employee name column if it is there. So my first employee Ram, if it is there in the employee list. So when I copy this formula towards down, this array should not move down. We should lock it. Then it is asking over here if it is matched, if Ram is matched in the employee name column, what you're expecting in return, value if true, we are expecting the expenses details. That should be locked. It should not move along with the formula, comma. Then it asks me value if false, means if Ram is not available over here, what you're expecting? We are expecting nothing. So nothing means we can't leave it as a, over here 0 hyphen nil. We have to exactly go for blanks. Why we need to go for blanks? Because we have given the condition as true. If blank is there, you have to remove that. So for this region, you have to always define this as two immediate double inverted quotes without space. Now, if formula bracket close, text join bracket close. Formula is ready, only with one cell. Need to apply for rest. We know control, enter, and see the beauty. We got the answer. So this is how people, whenever there is a need over there, you can go for this combinations of formula like text join with if makes a very powerful combination. And this will be very, very helpful whenever you do the reconciliation activity at the month end, year end, or quarter end, whatever it is, you can get the solution. Even try. So any difficulties in combinations of our logic, text join, and if, you can ask me. Last two options of X lookup. Okay. So lookup value, lookup array, return array, if not found, match mode, and then search mode. Yeah. So these options will be helping you out. Binary search, sorting, ascending order. So now suppose say your data is not sorted and you want to over here that it should be searching with the sorted order like A to Z or Z to A, then sorted in descending order. Like if you have the number smallest to largest, largest to smallest. So in that order it will search. So this two will be very rarely in use, but yes, when you have some statistical calculations and you want to do some analysis, you can go for these two options. But technically that will be very rare in use. We don't need it mostly, but yes, you can use it when you have a statistical data. All right. Fine. So I believe now we got some flavor of our 365 functions that is going to make our life easy. So as I told you earlier, now again I'm saying, if you are really interested, saving your time and you want to make your job easy, always try to work with the latest version of Microsoft Excel. And trust me, 365 is the only version where you are getting many more updates and some formatting patterns, formulas, AI tools as well. I'll tell you, just watch my screen. Since we have got 365, we are continuing with that discussion. Now, most of the times what it happens, we need to go for tracking of our projects. Suppose you have got some works going on, civil work or any kind of capex work, anything you name it in the corporates. Mostly what it happens, we need to state some work in progress status also sometimes, because the fund is involved and there should not be any financial blockage over there. The management will be more interested what is the stage what we are in, or if a new site has been uh, suppose say it has come into place and you have been deputed to do all the capex budgeting and the furnishing installation commissions everything. It is suppose as a project manager it is your work, and timely on monthly basis you have to give a reporting to your management directly, suppose say. So in this those cases, how to handle all these jobs and how to manage this over there and how to present this report to the management, ideally we prefer to go for Microsoft project. So if you have multiple projects and you have a dedicated resource strength of suppose 100 people, instead of making them idle, you have to keep engaging them with all these five different projects, whatever you have been assigned with. Then how you are managing your resources, how you are allocating this job into multiple projects, how you are spending their time over there in multiple projects, everything management is interested to track that. So the best option, Microsoft project, we know. Now suppose say we do not have Microsoft project, then how to handle all these things in Excel? So I'll tell you, here people again struggle, they do a lot of stuffs, they keep designing many more formulas, but I'll tell you, you can simply go to file, you can go to new, and there in this search box, okay, what you can do, you can go for simply over here called planner. So when I go for the planner and hit enter, you'll be getting so many templates, ready-made templates with formula, functions, everything. Now you will be looking at the template side, you'll be finding a project planner one ready-made template is there. You can click that and it will be asking you to create a new template, a new Excel file with ready-made all the formula, functions, colorful patterns, everything inbuilt. Only thing is, depending upon the activities of that particular project, you can keep highlighting, keep entering the data, and ultimately this is going to showcase the results, including your statistics, the visuals over there. That's what the beauty of Office 365. So whenever time permits, go and explore this new option. When you go to File New, there are many more templates, business templates, personal templates, planners and trackers, budgets, charts, ready-made desktop calendars. All these things are available. Or if you want to create a Gantt chart over here, there will be also a Gantt chart. Just see, if I go for Gantt and I hit enter, there is a ready-made Gantt chart over here. You could see like Agile Gantt chart, data tracker Gantt chart, simple Gantt chart. So all these things without taking MS project help, you can use this ready-made templates for tracking all your projects. Isn't it cool? What's it? Right. So only thing is you have to explore more. No need to go and immediately start working with this and spending your quality time. First, try to establish, is there any ready-made templates Excel does have? Yes, Excel is having. Make use of that. There is no harm using the same. This is what designed by Microsoft only. So anybody can use that. All right. So save all your files. Okay. And with this, we'll go for a 10 minutes break. We'll come back soon and we'll continue from the same file, whatever the other topics. Okay. So in my system, it is 3:50.4 o'clock. Again, we'll resume. So please ensure you're back by 4 o'clock. All right, so I believe everybody is back. Please respond in the chat box. Boy for yes. Okay, Sumit is there. Very good. Venus also comes. Just hold on for 1 minute. People will join. Then we'll start at once. Yes. This guys, what is your opinion about XLOOKUP? Let's discuss for 1 minute. Whatever your viewpoints.
I think it's a powerful tool, and definitely it's going to help us, especially when we are combining so many formulas, and if something goes wrong in one of the formula itself, it takes time, so much time to identify which where we are actually failing, right? So it involves a lot of manual efforts as well as time, but with this lookup, I think we are sorted out.
Good one. So one thing, we are saving our time. Second thing, we don't need to take a burden of remembering all the formula and logics behind that. And third thing, it doesn't make our file size heavy. And fourth one, making our data processing very faster. But only thing is, the person whom you are sending, those persons should have MS 365. If they don't have, only thing is you have to make your formula copy paste special value and send it across to them. This is the only thing. Anyway, all right. So I believe everybody's back. Will you please respond, or you can unmute and speak? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now we are going to discuss some more logical formulas and the formulas which will be helping us in terms of our dashboard designing. We'll go for it and then we'll go for the rest of the topics. So go to the sheet name called sum and count. Sum and count. There is a sheet over here. Okay. So here, let me take you through what is that we have over here. So we have got some data with regard to the employees, like over here. If you let me just open this a bit. We have got date of training of the employees, name of the employees, department they belong to, salary they draw, and training expenses incurred upon them. Okay. Now, taking all these 5 columns into reference, we need to answer all these 6 questions. But before that, if you look at our date of training over here, it's not showing a proper date format. Can you see that? So keeping your cursor in the first cell of our date of training, select the rest. And I told you how to come back immediately. Anybody? When you
Control
select
back.
your control backspace, very good. So this is what we have already discussed the other day, right? Now, the data is there in a different format and we are expecting to be date. I told you yesterday, what is the keyboard shortcut to convert any format to date format? In pivot case, first 5 to 10 minutes, we discuss something, how to check your data and all, right? Control, Shift, and 3.
Asia 3.
Yeah, so Control Shift 3 will be helping you to convert any format to date format. See, yesterday we discussed, today you have forgotten. So practice is very, very essential. Now, coming back to our questions. Read the first question, what it is demanding. Count occurrence of department IT. Means in department column, how many times IT department is appearing, what is the frequency of that, and how many times it is repeating. We have to make a count and state the result. So basically, criteria-based counting to be done. Then, how to do that? We have a ready-made formula naming called count if. So whenever you happen to do a criteria-based counting, you can go for count if. Now, what it demands, the formula, please read that, what it says. Range, which range you have to apply the formula in the department column. Then criteria, department name is IT. So IT is our own text. You can go and just define within two double inverted quotes IT. Else you can go to your one of the cell in the department column and choose where IT is there. Either of this will work fine. And now the moment you go for this is going to give you the result over here. And this is nothing but your criteria based counting. Check. Did you receive the same total of 22, all of you? Fine. Now let's go for our question number two. Count salary less than 1,50,000. So if you look at in our salary column, wherever the value is less than 1,50,000, and how many such cases are there, we need to count and state the result. So basically, again, criteria based counting to be done. So we have the ready-made formula, COUNTIF. And when you go for COUNTIF, what it demands me, the range, as we discussed, is the salary. Then criteria. What's your criteria? Less than 1,50,000. So here, be careful all the time. Whenever your criteria is less than something, greater than something, less than equal to, or greater than equal to, not equal to, or equal to, something like that, if the conditions, you must define within two double inverted quotes. So less than 1,50,000, we must define within two double inverted quotes. Okay. And the moment you hit enter, this is going to give you the answer of 57. So again, criteria based counting, how to do that, we got the result over here. Just check it out.
Yes, sir.
Right? Anybody is facing difficulties or different value, please let me know. Okay. Now, once we have received the same over here, okay, let's see the answer for question number three. Some salary for department finance. Like in our department column, wherever the finance department is there, corresponding salary, we have to make a total of that. So basically criteria based sum to be done. So we know we have a ready-made formula naming called sum if. Now read the arguments, what it demands me, the range. As we discussed, which column we have to deal first is the department. Then is the criteria. What's our criteria? Is finance. So as I told you, you can go for taking a cell help or you can write something in two double inverted quotes over here, naming for finance. Come on. Sum range. Which range will be applying the sum formula in the salary column? So I can take this, and the moment I go and hit enter, I'll be getting my result over here. 12 lakhs 17,876. Just check, is it the same answer you received or anything different? Do let me know. Right. Now we'll go for over here some salary above 2 lakhs. So if you happen to go for more than 2 lakh salary cases, and what is the total, we have to deal with the salary column definitely, and we have to make a total of that. So again, criteria based sum to be done. So let's go for it. Range. Which range we have to deal is the salary. Yeah. Then criteria. What's our criteria? Above 2 lakhs. We know how to define within two double inverted quotes. Above 2 lakhs, we can define it. Now this is demanding sum range. Which range you will be applying the sum formula? Again, the salary. So you can go and define comma and define the salary column again, but that is of no need because our range and sum range is the same range. So we can conclude our formula with criteria itself. And there is no point unwantedly extending the formula length by giving the same range one more time. The moment I hit enter, you could notice I got the answer 18 lakhs 42,219. So this is how people, whenever there's a need, how to reduce your formula length possible, you have seen that. So any difficulties or any other questions? Yes, Ashwan, what is the syntax? I did not get that
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I mean, when I say sum if, right? So it gives
Mhm.
me three requirements, and you said that since the range is similar, so we did not. Uh, I just give me 1 second. The
Yeah.
sum range and the range is same. So, but the syntax requires the sum range, so it will not give me error. It did not
Mhm.
give.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
why?
I'll tell you. So some basic understanding about the formulas you need to have. See, watch my screen. No need to do anything. The moment we go for our any formula, like some if will go for it. What is the first argument?
Range.
Range. Do you see anything as a prefix or suffix before range or after range?
No. Okay.
So it means this input is mandatory. I
Okay.
repeat, this input is mandatory. Now, when I give comma, next input is criteria. Do you see anything again as a prefix or suffix?
No, I don't.
So this input is also mandatory. Now, third input argument, if you see the formula, can you see some kind of square box is there, open and end and close end also?
Yes, I can.
So it means this is optional. So even though you do not provide this input, the formula is going to execute. This is
Okay.
what the understanding about the formula.
Okay. So if I put range, some value, comma, criteria, comma and then bracket close, nothing after the comma, it will still execute, right?
No, no, no. You should not give comma after a criteria, direct bracket close because there is no other
Okay.
arguments.
Okay, clear. Fine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
I
Welcome.
was confused with this X lookup because you said we had a comma, wherein we did not add any.
No, no, no. That is a different. See, comma means that is what to ignore. So when I go, because we have got further arguments also to define. Now, X lookup value, it is mandatory. Without this
Yeah,
input, we can't proceed.
correct.
Lookup array, this is also mandatory. Now, return array, this is also mandatory. But if not
Okay.
found, can you see that? It is
Yeah,
having a prefix and suffix called a
that's why
square
confused.
brackets.
Okay, yeah. But you
Now,
use comma,
why?
comma. Yeah.
Now, why I asked you to give comma? Because we have to work with our match mode. Now, if my formula arguments are over here, I don't need to go for match mode or search. I'm not working. By default, it always takes the exact match. And by default, it always take the search mode from top to bottom. This
Okay,
is what the default,
okay, okay.
right?
And my formula then would end at return array itself.
Yes.
Okay, clear. Yeah, we did it. Correct. Okay, fine, Professor. Clear as
Oh,
it. I just was
oh,
spotting it all the time. Why you have a square bracket? That's why this question came up.
no
Thanks.
problem. See, hardly people know about this unless and until he's a Microsoft certified person. He will never be knowing about it. Trust me.
Nice. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Anyway, I'm glad you asked, and I'm able to share this to you and others also. It has a kind of a eye-opening factor when you express someone or you try to explain someone the formula in the very basic, simple man-made language, you can make them understand. So it will be very clear for them. All right, so we'll go for our next question, people. Some salary more than 50,000 but less than 1,50,000 salary case. So we need to go and deal with the salary column. First, we make a bucket more than 50,000 cases, then less than 1,50,000 cases. And in between these two buckets, whichever the item falls in, we have to make a total of that. So basically, criteria based sum to be done. But number of criterias are more than one. So whenever you have more than one criteria based sum to be done, you have to go for a formula naming called sum ifs. Sum ifs. Very powerful, but bit peculiar also. You need to be very focused. Just watch my screen. It demands me some range. So which range we will be applying the sum formula in the salary column. I did it. Then it asks me criteria range 1. Now you tell me what would be the answer. Though it is wrong or right, forget about it. Formula demands criteria range 1. What would be your answer? No idea? Okay, you believe greater than 50,000, correct? Yes. So this is the place where people commits mistake. See, what you believed more than 50,000, if you look at the formula, next level, it is asking criteria 1. So what you believe it is supposed to be criteria range 1 is nothing but criteria 1. That is your first criteria. But what it is demanding, to search your first criteria, where you are going to search. So more than 50,000, where you are going to search? In salary only, right? So this is what you have to give it again. Why we need to give it again? Because this input is mandatory. So this is the place where people always commits a mistake. Hope you got a clarity. Come on. Now it is asking criteria 1. So as per the question, what is the first criteria? More than 50,000. So we know how to define within two double inverted quotes. We can go for more than 50,000. Then it asks me criteria range 2. So whatever my second criteria, less than 1,50,000, where to search? Again in the salary only. So I need to give it over here. Now it is asking criteria 2. So what is my second criteria? Less than 1,50,000. So we should define within two double inverted quotes less than 1,50,000. All right. Now, the moment I go and hit enter, I'll be getting my result 48 lakhs 008,029,293. So, this is how, whenever there's a need, people, more than one criteria based sum, if you have to do at any point of time, you can always go for this formula called sum ifs. It's very powerful. As I told you, whenever you design summary report templates or any other kind of dashboards, you can make use of this formula. So give it a try, check, are you getting the same? Any difficulties, do let me know. Or you are getting a different answer, please bring it to my notice. We'll discuss that. All of you got the same thing? So we know now how to calculate or compute with COUNTIF, SUMIF, SUMIFs, the formal arguments, how the understanding, all these things were clear. So I request everyone, please take 2 minutes of time and find the answer for question number 6. Yeah. So let's see what we have understood. And once your answer is ready, do let me know. Okay, Sumit has got 10 lakhs, sorry, 1,09,393. Can somebody validate that? This is the right answer. Okay, so let's check it out. Is it the right answer? So we need to go for some ifs. We know that more than one criteria based sum to be done. Some range. So we have to go for over here, which range is nothing but our training expenses. Okay. Now it is asking criteria range one. So since my first criteria is dealing with a date, I need to go and search in the date column. Yes. Now what is the first criteria? 1st August 20 over here, 2019. So here always remember, whenever you go for date related some kind of conditions, you should include the start and end date as well logically. So whatever the training happened on 1st August also we need to include and above. So we should go for greater than equal to, and we go for a proper date format like giving a DD MMYY or MMDDYY to understand. Now, criteria range 2, again, the date is there, 31st January 2020. We need to go and search in date column only, correct? So I'll go over here and taking again the date. Then coming back over here, I'll go for the conditions. Now, what is that? 31st January 2020. So within two double invert brackets, less than equal to 31st Jan 2020. So we got the answer. So if you have received the same, then you're in the right track. So this is how people, when there is a date related stuffs to be answered over here, you can go and present your answer like this. So again, criteria based or more than one criteria based sum to be done, some ifs. So any difficulties in understanding anything out of these people? Anybody?
Uh, yeah, Professor,
Yeah.
in my case, I mean, I got the answer correct, but in my
Mhm.
case, the date format did not have Y, 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 Y. It had only 19 and 20. So even if when I press Control Shift 3, is it because of the cell format of the one that you explained on the day one?
That is what. That is what.
Okay,
It is
okay.
because of the format only.
Because then this formula may not work, right? In case I have, because it is Y, 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 Y. So I'll get a zero or no, I
See,
got the answer.
you will get the
Oh,
answer. See, as long as 2y, 4y, it should be a proper date format. Either
okay,
DDMMYY or MMDDYY, or the
okay.
separator if you are taking the dash or hyphen symbol or the forward slash, as we discussed earlier in day one and day two. As long
Okay.
as it is there in that format, it will be responded as a date.
All right, fine. Thank you.
No problem. All right. So I believe now we got the clarity about all these formulas which will be needing the most in our routine activities, people, how to deal with the same. Now save all your files and close it. And we are going to discuss the Next topic is called charts and graphs. So though you deal with ready-made numbers, billions, millions, lakhs, crores, but there is certain set of audience like your management, your stakeholders, customers, vendors. They are not worried about your billions, millions, and lakhs and crores. They are interested in seeing the data in a visual format or a storytelling format. So to express your better story, how to make use of these charts and graphs, and even if your 11 is also sitting, how he is going to infer the insights out of this, we are going to discuss in detail. So let's go to the sheet called chart tech in our sample case studies folder. I have already shared with you. So just go to that. This we look up. Now go to the sheet called quick chart. Kindly confirm you have got the same worksheet open. File name is chart tech, sheet name is quick chart.
हाँ वो गलत कब फिले
लिंक गलत कौन सा लिखा कौन सा All right. So now here, take a look. What is that we have? Suppose say these are the products I'm dealing with. I'm into a kind of food manufacturing industries, and these are the products I'm dealing with or selling to my customers or dealers, and this is what the revenue I have made from these products. Now I have given the entire history, but my boss is still not happy watching the same, and immediately he's saying me, Prabhas, why don't you plot the data in a graphical format? Well, I can keep my cursor on the data, go for Control A to select the entire data over here. And to plot a graph out of any sort of data in Excel, you can go for a simple keyboard shortcut, Alt F1. So when you press Alt F1 together, can you see with immediate effect we got a beautiful chart ready? If it is not your direct key F1, then go for function Alt F1 and kindly confirm the keyboard shortcut is working. And the same keyboard shortcut is already listed in our keyboard shortcut list. Is it working? Right. Now, once we have got this, you can notice the chart is ready, no doubt, but it is just there where the data is available. So chart and data in the same location. The chart size, if you look at, looks very small also. Looking at the same, my boss is not happy and he's telling me, Prabhas, why don't you plot the chart in a bigger size, neat and clean, presentable, having more information? So if that is the case, then how to present it? Take a look. I will select this entire chart and I'll take it to the right side of my chart area. Okay. Now, this is the data I have. I will select it. On my keyboard, I press F11 only. If it is not your direct key, go with function with F11. Can you see? An exclusive chart sheet will be turning up with bigger in size, neat and clean, presentable. So these are the two quick and easy ways to plot a graph. So Alt F1 will be plotting the graph in the same worksheet, and F11 will have an exclusive chart sheet over there on your screen. So I believe both our things are clear, this Alt F1 and F11. Any difficulties, anybody? All right. Now go to the quick chart sheet, people. And in this quick chart, let's select the chart first. As I told you in our day three, the moment we are dealing with our pivot table case, did you remember I told you whenever you have the chart in place, what is the first thing we should do? Anybody can quickly recall that? Let's see.
Convert it into a table.
No, 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 no. When you have the chart in place, to make it better, what you should do? We should go
Removing the
to,
grid lines.
no, first go to the design, follow
Okay,
the
yeah.
same rhythm,
Yeah.
going to the design and choose the last style. This is what I told. Go with the same rhythm so that you can avoid the duplication of work. So once you choose the last style from the design category, it will be giving you some glossy impact. As I told you, you can see somewhat better vision over here. Now, going to the plus symbol, remove the grid line. This is our second step. Always follow the same rhythm. Then let's talk about the rest. So these are the first two activities, the minimum formatting you must do in your charts. All right. Now, once we have done with this, what is the next step? See, when you have the chart in place, now if you do not like the ready-made colors, you want to have something of your own, yes, we do have a choice. We can select one particular column. The entire bars or columns will be selected. So you can go to your format options in the extreme right of your ribbon, and you have the shape fill over here. Whichever the colors you like it from it, you can take it, or you can take some different styles. You can opt it from here also. So whichever you like it, you can take it from here. Up to you. Now suppose say I just would like to go for my own color. So I go for, suppose I prefer to go for some gray color. Yes, I can choose that. Okay. So regarding coloring is not a big task, we can do it. But this kind of chart, people don't like it nowadays, having no information at all. So you have to give a helping hand to the people, adding some more information. So how to add more information over here? Just see. Right click on any of the column and you will be having an option called add data labels. So when you go for it, you can find each and every product wise, what is the value will be populated in the top of each and every column. Yes. Select one of the value, all these data labels will be selected. To make it readable, go for Control B, B for bold. And to increase the font size, go for Control Shift and greater than symbol. In day two, we have already discussed to increase the font size, or you can manually go to Home and increase the font size. Choice is yours. But make sure your data people can read. So this is our next step. Any difficulties in understanding? All right. Now, what you need to do, though we have got the information to chart people, but our latest style of chart, it says that if you are maintaining axis scale, then there is no point defining the data labels. If you are having the data labels, then there is no point of having axis scale. But as an audience, if you look at which one is giving the instant information, definitely the data labels, right? So what you're supposed to do with our access skill is you can select the same and go for delete. Then immediately you will be finding over here the space we can utilize for our chart presentation. Now, coming back to your chart title. Having the chart title in the center, those days are gone. Nowadays, people don't prefer to see the chart title in the center. You can see it is there in the right side of the chart area. So if you're visiting the money control sites, or if you're reading the Economics Times newspaper, or if you see the big four presentations also, you'll be finding the chart title in the right side. Okay. Now, once you've made it, Though we got beautiful formatting, but still it is not ready for dispatch. Why? Because nowadays our people or audience, they don't like it when you present your data as it is. So what people are expecting that when you present your data, make sure your data speaks a very beautiful story. So how to present our data in a storytelling format? Select your data over here and go for data sorting. How to go for data sorting? What is the keyboard shortcut we learned in day two? Anybody? Alt D, D for data, S for sorting. So Alt D S. Then sort by, you go for cells in USD, and order you change largest to smallest. And when you click OK, can you see? It gives a beautiful insight or meaningful presentations of your data. So what is the story we are getting? That from cocoa powder, we got the maximum revenue, and from our custard powder, we got the least revenue. So whoever is watching the data, they can make out what we are trying to present. And even if in my absence, somebody else from my teammate is presenting to the people, they are not going to struggle in understanding or reading the data. So this is how people we have understood how to prepare a chart instantly, doing the necessary formatting with regard to the chart area, how to present it with a meaningful or informative way, and finally how to present your data in a beautiful story format. We got the understanding. So if you have any doubt, feel free to ask.
Was it the information on the y-axis? You just deleted it, or I
Yeah,
missed?
I deleted. Selecting
Okay.
the same, just delete.
Okay. If I had to get it back, then by any chance?
Yeah, if you want to bring it back again, like going to the plus symbol, you have got access over here. You just deactivate it one more time and again bring it back.
Ah, okay. Fine. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Now, once we have got this, did you like it? As an audience, I'm asking you, to you. I'm presenting something as a presenter. Did you like the chart? Yes, no. Give me your opinion. There's nothing wrong over here. You have the liberty. Mhm. What's it? Yes, no. Okay. If you're unable to figure it out, I'll tell you, I'll help you. Though we have made a beautiful chart, people, but here our audience will not like it. You know where the objection they will be taking? This is the place. The data we are providing, the information we are providing in a slanting order. So we are forcing our audience to bend their head by another 30 to 45-degree to read all these things. And this is what people don't like it. So you can ask me a question, Prabhas, what can I do for that? Because my product names are very lengthy. A huge data set or characters is available. So how to present it then? Where the thing has gone wrong? See, where you have to emphasize upon your text as well, along with your numbers, ready-made data, then this is not the right format of your chart. So the pattern, what it has gone wrong is the selection of the chart. So where you have the huge data or text over there in your series over here, then this is not the right form of your chart. So what you can do, just select your chart and go for Control D, make it duplicate, D for duplicate, and keep this in the bottom for your reference later. Go to the chart, whatever we had, right click on the same and go for change chart type. You got entire chart family and towards your left use bar. So you have a separate category called bar. And when you go for the bar option over here, you can click OK and you got a beautiful chart ready. and people are not going to struggle in reading the data text. Even though it is there, people are able to read the text of yours. So this is how right selection of the chart is also very, very essential, people, over there while presenting your chart. Check it out. All of you are getting the same. Any difficulties? Feel free to ask. Fine. Are we good for next level? Yes, no? All right. Now take a look. Though it looks nice, whatever we are presenting over here, people, but still our audience will not be happy with that. Yes. Now, what is the thing it has gone wrong? See, if you look at our data, it is there in largest to smallest order. But if you look at your chart data, it is seeming it is in smallest to largest order. So data is not having a sync with your chart area. Then how to rectify this? Here our experts, they will suggest you go and again do the changes of the data in smallest to largest order. Never ever do like that. Okay, what you can do, select this axis from the left, what you have, this text over here, right click on that. You have the option called format axis. And when you go for this format axis over here with immediate effect, you will be finding over there, okay, in your first icon is dealing with fill and line. In this, fill is there, okay, so you have got the patterns, lines, colors. So if you want to edit something, you can edit that. So these are the options. Whenever time permits, go and explore. Everything is over here in fill. The next icon is shadow, and you want to change the pattern. Then third icon is about all your alignment, and the fourth icon is about your axis options. So ideally, when you go for right click and taking the format axis, it will open with the fourth icon. Okay. In the extreme bottom of that axis options, you have the options called categories in reverse order. You can see. Okay. So when you go for that, that checkbox is not activated. You can activate this, and with immediate effect, you will be finding the chart, whatever we have, it will change in the order, and it will be there exactly with the data set pattern. So in our data, if you look at largest to smallest, now the chart is also looking at in the same fashion. So now you tell me which one looks better, option one or option two. So definitely option two is better. So this is how people, this is now more trendy, this kind of bar chart. People prefer to showcase in dashboards also the most, because even if you try to accommodate in a small amount of space, you can do that. It is not going to create any trouble for you. That's why this is more trendy and quite easy to express also. People prefer to see that. All right. So how to prepare a quick chart, what is the necessary formattings to do, how to present our data in story format, and how to take the right selection on the data, we have seen that. Let's go for our next. It's called combo chart. Okay. So just give me a minute. I'll be back soon. Just give me a minute. All right, so sorry for the interruption. Yeah, so I believe now we all are clear with our quick chart. We'll be proceeding to combo chart. Now, what is the essence of combo chart? Why it is needed? Where we can use this? We are first going to discuss about it. Okay, and then we'll see how this is going to play a beautiful role in terms of presenting our information very effectively. We are going to discuss that. Here, take a look. We have got month-wise, whatever the revenue data, sales data we have, and sales in terms of percentage also it is available. Okay. I have selected my data. Well, I will plot a graph. We know the keyboard shortcut. Graph is ready. And I told you, whenever you have the chart in place, first thing, going to design and take the last tile. Yes. Then clicking on the plus symbol, removing the grid lines. So this is what we did. Kindly confirm till this level clear. Now, once we have done with this, take a look what it is missing over here. If you look at the chart very closely, you can see there is a legend called sales INR. Yes, it is available in blue colors. There is one more legend if you look at over here called sales percentage. But do you see the sign anywhere? No. Then where it has gone? It is there, but it is sitting in the extreme bottom of your axis, which is not very clear. And why it has happened like this? Because our data, if you look at over here, sales data, it is running in numbers, but sales percentage running in percentage. So there are two different formats and we cannot accommodate in one axis. Hence, it is not accommodated in one axis. What is the choice we have? We need to go and create over there one more axis in our chart area in the right side called Z or Z axis, or we call it as a secondary axis. And this sales percentage, whatever it is there, we are going to present it in this axis. And that's called our combo chart. So why combo chart is so essential? Now we got some clarity. Is it clear? Any difficulties in understanding? First, you let me know. Yes, people. Combo chart, why it is essential? Got some theoretical understanding? Now, how to plot it? Just say, on your chart area, do the right click upon the same and go for change chart type. So when you go for change chart type over here, it will take you to your entire chart family. And there we have to go for our extreme bottom called combo. So when you go for combo, you will be finding your sales INR is showing in clustered column. Let it be, don't need to do any changes. Sales percentage, if you see, this is showing line. So instead of line, go for the drop down and choose line with markers. In the line category, fourth option, line with markers. So when you go for line with markers and click, then there is an option called secondary axis. And in this secondary axis, the checkbox is not activated. So you can activate the same. And once you activate the same, click OK. With immediate effect, you will be finding a beautiful line option will be turning up over here, and that makes your precisely combo chart. So this is how people, whenever you have multiple series or columns in your data, and you are not sure how to present it, you all can always decide to retain some columns in primary axis, some data in secondary axis. So the chart will not seeming to be overloaded or diluted with the data, and people are not going to struggle in reading the data and will be giving them more clarity on it. So this is how combo chart, how to prepare and present, we got that. Any doubt, any queries in the combo chart? Anybody can ask me. Clear? All good? Yes, no. Okay. Now, take a look. Though we have created a beautiful combo chart over here, people, but the problem would be sometimes people would be demanding that Prabhas, why don't you just go for this line? It is showing some kind of dent kind of look. Why don't you make a proper or smooth flow of the line? People will not be happy with that. But if you want to add some smoothness in the line, what you can do, just see, right click on the line exactly, and there's an option called Format Data Series. And when you go for Format Data Series over here, in the very first icon, when you click it, in the extreme bottom, you have a option called Smoothed Line. Can you see? So this option has to be enabled. And once you enable the same, see the beauty now? It will be giving a proper flow of your line, adding more smoothness to the line options. And trust me, when you present something like this, definitely somebody is going to ask a question at the end of the presentation for us. Everything is fine, but how did you get this line so in such smoothness? We never get such kind of lines. So that's what we want. People should ask us, how did you do that? Right?
Prabhasji, what was the option again?
Yeah, exactly. Right click on the line
Yeah.
and go to Format Data Series and go for the first icon that is called Fill and Line. And
Yeah.
once you click that, in the extreme bottom, you have the option called Smooth Line.
Okay, fine. Thanks, got
Yeah,
it. Thank you.
no problem. All right, people. So I believe everybody is getting the same flavor. Any doubt, any queries from anybody? Fine. Now we'll go for our next chart type is called budget versus actuals, target versus actuals, or planned versus actuals. So this is one of the essential chart type in our routine activities, people, and month end, quarter end, year end, whatever the chart we are preparing. So mostly you will be having this kind of combinations of the data. So how to present it effectively with no time, we are going to discuss that. So we have got month-wise targets, and based on that, we have got the actuals. So we can select our data over here, okay? And we plot it with Alt F1, yes. Now the chart, whatever we have, we'll go to first design and select the last style. Then going to plus symbol, remove the grid lines. As usual, whatever the procedures we have opted, we have made it. Well, kindly confirm all of you are ready with this.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, once it is ready, just simply go to your right click on the chart area. You have the option change chart type. Go for it. And you have the option called combo. Perfect. Now, first thing you see in the combo target, it is showing clustered column. Okay. Target data, it always looks good or ideal when you present it in the format of a line. So go for the drop down and choose line with markers. In the line category, fourth option, line with markers. Then actuals, it shows line. Instead of line, go for the drop down and go to the extreme top. You have the column section. And in columns, the very first option, you have got clustered column. You can choose that. And now when you go and click OK, you got a beautiful chart ready with target versus actuals with minimum efforts. And wherever the lines are exceeding targets are exceeding or the columns are exceeding the target line, it means that you have got more business compared to the target. So this is how very easily we can create a beautiful chart, no doubt about it, called target versus actuals. Any doubt, any questions in this?
Excuse me, sir. Kindly please
Yeah.
repeat it again.
Selecting the data, have you plotted the graph?
Yeah, yeah. Basic
Right
graph
click
I
on the
plotted.
graph. Yeah,
Okay.
right click on the graph and go for
Okay.
change chart type.
Yes.
Then you have the option called combo.
Yes, sir. Got it.
And in target section, it shows column. You
Yes.
have to change with line with markers. So this is called your line with markers.
Yes, sir.
And below actuals, it is showing line. You have to
Line.
change it to clustered column. So
Which
very
one?
first option in the top called custom columns, we have that.
Yes, sir.
That is your clustered column. And once
Yes.
you click OK, you will be landing up with this kind of chart.
Yeah, got it.
Right. So this is how, with minimum efforts, how to create a beautiful target versus actuals chart over here. And as I told you, this kind of presentations are recurring in nature. Now, suppose say this month you have presented something like this, and next month you are going to present the same data. Only thing is some numbers will be changing, but the chart will remain the same. If you believe that over here presenting the same, your audience will be happy, definitely not. Because people have already seen that whatever you are presenting, they have seen the last time. So this time their expectation is something different and they will be looking for something different type of combination of chart, you should present it. Now the question is how to give a different meaning or flavor to the same chart type so that my audience happens to see something different and they will appreciate my work during the last time what they did. Well, in that case, what I suggest is people, when this kind of presentations are recurring in nature, suppose last month you have presented something like this, then go for a duplicate, selecting the same and keep it in the bottom. And the original chart, whatever you had, right click upon the same, change chart type. And there you go, define over here, target, line with markers already there, let it be. Actuals also, you go to that drop down and choose line with markers and click OK. So you'll be finding a beautiful chart again. So sometimes you can present like this. And for a change for the audience, next moment, you can present something like this. So people happens to see something different, they will be definitely happy watching that. So this is how we have understood how to create a beautiful budget versus actuals or target versus actuals or brand versus actual chart immediately, instantly in Excel. Any doubt, any queries, can ask me. Is it clear? Yes, no.
Excuse me, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, any option is there to show like curve like structure, S curve or something like that? Like progress is showing in the curve basis.
Yeah, see, it depends on the data. Like if you're
Oh,
looking for that, then you should have the data in that structure, then only you can give it. See, there are many more things you can do with regard to the charts. As I told you, when you go for like chain chart type, there are multiple different styles are there.
okay,
But
okay.
it's not necessary that out of any structure of data you can create any type of chart. So there should be a proper data for a chart type. So if you want to go for waterfall, so it doesn't give a waterfall. Though it is creating the
Okay,
data, but it cannot be considered as a waterfall chart. Similarly, from this data, if I'm expecting something called over here, say map chart, I don't have map anything over here. So you should have the right data to prepare the right type of charts. So if you're looking for something kind of bell curve charts or S curve chart, people name it differently. You
okay,
should
sir.
have the proper data. Now, if you believe that you do not have the data, or if you believe that you have the data but you are unable to plot it, you just send me the data. I will just figure it out what kind of chart we can prepare or what are the best options out of it. Don't worry.
Okay, sure. Thank you, sir.
Right. Yeah. Now, coming to the next chart type, there is a sheet over here naming called waterfall. Okay. So you would have seen, this is more trendy nowadays, more popular amongst the industry. Those you are into finance, accounts, production planning, wherever you go, you will be finding this type of charts. People prefer to see the most nowadays. So where to use this kind of charts? Basically, whenever you have got some kind of mixed variance, like you have got positive, negative, where you will be finding your sales data, growth may be positive, negative. If your financial data, cash inflow, outflow, if your stores data, receipts and issues, if your HR data, attrition data, if you see new joinees and exit employees also will be there. So in those cases, mostly you can plot this graph and you can present it effectively. And one more case where you can use it is when you have some sequential activity for a particular project or product, you can also make use of that. Now take a look. We have got suppose a product to be designed or manufactured or what you produced. Suppose say I purchased RM of 50,000 and I've incurred a labor cost of 1 lakh rupees. So far if somebody asks me, Pravas, how much you have spent? I will be giving my answer 50,000 plus 1 lakh, 1 lakh 50,000. Now, when I brought it the same to my plant, I processed in the plant and I incurred a overhead cost of rupees 2 lakhs. So total 3 lakh 50 I have spent on this particular project. Now, what happens when I import the product from different countries or raw material from different overseas countries? Then my government is giving some benefit, tax benefit of cashback of 25,000. So I have just settled out over here. And now finally, if somebody is asking me, what will be my answer? How much I have spent for this particular project? 3 lakh 50 minus 25,000 since I have received the cashback and 3 lakh 25,000 is now I have spent. Well, this is the story we have designed in a tabular format. Now, looking at the same, my boss is asking, Prabhas, why don't you plot this data in a graphical format? So now, here the problem starts. As I told you, depending upon your data, you must go for right selection of the chart. So for this data, if I go and select and plot the graph, what it happens? Graph is plotted, but it shows as 5 different separate entity we are presenting over here. Do you agree with me? Do you see any kind of relationship between the activities? No. So this is the reason why, though we have got this chart, people, but this is not being informative. Now, when you do not have any idea what kind of data I have, what could be the right format of my chart, the best option, make use of the artificial intelligence tool of Microsoft Excel. You can go to insert and over here we do have a ready-made options called recommended charts. So if you have the data like this over here, okay, just select the data, go to insert and go for recommended charts. Now immediately you will be finding there many more charts will be turning on. So can you see one chart over here called waterfall? So here also you can take the chart option. So suppose I'll go for waterfall. You can go and click OK. Else, right click on the chart area and you can go for over here, change chart type and go for waterfall. Now this waterfall option will be available only if you are there in 2016 some specific versions or 2019 and above, like 2023 or 2021 or Office 365 or 2024. All right. Now, if I go and click OK, I'll be getting my waterfall chart ready. So as I told you, some people call it as a staircase diagram because if you look at over here, it seems like a staircase diagram, right? So that's why people name it something like this. Else, people call it as a bridge chart because if you see, there is some connecting bridge between the activities over here, right? But technically, this is waterfall. Okay. Now, as I told you earlier, what you can do, going to chart design. If you want to change something of your style, you can do that. Whichever the style you like it, out of this, you can make it. Now, suppose I like this style. Okay, I took this. Now, this grid lines, I want to remove it. So going for plus symbol, remove the grid lines. Okay. Now chart is ready. Though we have made this waterfall people, but it is still not yet ready as a waterfall. Reason. If you look at our data, the tabular data, how many activities we have? Yes. If you look at our tabular data, how many activities we have?
5.
Oh, 5. Okay. So Sumit is saying 4. You are saying 5. Which one is correct? 4 or 5?
Oh yeah, activity wise, it's not 5. It is.
Yeah.
Sumit is right. Yeah.
So activity is 4. Total cost is not a separate activity. It is just a summation of all the above values. But if you look at our chart, our total cost is also defined as a separate activity. And this is the place where it has gone wrong. So here, sorry, how to rectify this, how to showcase properly, just see. Select total cost. Now you can notice all the rest of the columns also getting selected. Select one more time on total cost. Now total cost alone would be selected. Right click upon the same. Go for over here, option called set as total. So when you go for set as total, you can see it will be changing in direction the total cost and it is ready. Now to make it more informative, right click on any column and go for add data labels. So now people are going to read the data. Very easy to read. How? First, when I spent on material, how much? 50,000. Is it touching the line of 50,000? Yes. Then once I complete the process of material expenses, then only my labor cost incurred, right? So what is happening when you go for labor cost and you see, is it touching the line of 1,50,000? Yes. So individually, stage wise, anybody wants to read the data, they can go to each and every activity. And if as a management official or chief marketing officer or director of the company, if I want to know, I don't want to see the individual stage wise activity. I can directly focus on my total cost to know how much I have spent from this particular project. If I look at, it is giving the story over here. So this is how we have understood how this waterfall chart is giving a better story whenever you go for any kind of operations. And I told you where to apply over there, what are the areas. So this is what nowadays being popular in our industries. So if you have the right data, you can plot it graphically in a better format. So check it out. Any doubt, any queries, feel free to ask people.
Uh, Prabhaji, I have one doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nothing to do with the chart, but I'm not sure if I should ask. How do you get this when you explain? You get
Mhm.
these small triangles and stuff. How do you get it? Is there a trick to it? You have software or?
It is a software. It is a software. I'll tell you, it is a Microsoft software only. You can also use. It will be very, very helpful for conducting any MS Teams meeting in your regular activities, keeping
Yeah,
your audience
that's why I
engaged.
asked.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. I'll help you out. And the software name is called Zoom It. So you have to go to Zoom It. Don't go for Softonic. It is a Microsoft software. So go and download from Microsoft site only. So when you
Okay.
go for Zoom it, and this is what the versions wise it is there, you can download that. It's maximum 1.4 MB, and it has got all the tutorials, how to use it, what is the keyboard shortcuts, and how to operate everything. The entire thing is over here. So you can also download that. Okay.
Yeah,
So I'm
just type
just
it.
dropping this in the chat box.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yep, no problem. I'll tell you also one more trick. You would have noticed most of the time, quite often, I'm just uh, this kind of effect, I'm circular effect I'm creating just to keep you or giving the focus in that area. Can you see the mouse pointer of mine?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this will be also helping you just to give that connecting speed to your audience, the way you are operating from X to Y, Y to Z, A to B, or B to C, the same rhythm to maintain and keeping your audience engaged with your screen. You can make use of this option also. But how to activate this? See, again, this is there is no software. It is the inbuilt system of ours in the operating system. We can get it. But how? Take a look. You can go to your search box and there you type control. You'll be getting your control panel. And when you click control panel, you'll be finding there's an option called mouse. So when you go to this mouse option, you will be finding a dialog box appears and there you have a pointer option. One tab is there. So in this pointer options in the extreme bottom, can you see we have an option called show location or pointer when I press the control key? By default, this will remain unchecked. Only thing is you have to restore this checkbox and click apply, click OK, and then wherever you keep your mouse pointer, just leave your mouse pointer and keep hitting the control button. So it will creating that effect over there. So whenever you are operating, you want your audience to focus on that particular area, you can leave your mouse button and then keep hitting control button. That will be very, very helpful in your MS Teams meetings. All right, so I believe you are getting it. Fine. Now, let us go for our next chart type, people. Okay. Sometimes what it happens, we need to go and plot a graph in different charts, but people are not happy. They are very particular about the chart type, what they're expecting. It's called pie chart. Even though you create a beautiful chart of column or bar, they're not happy. They will say, no, I need a pie chart. But nowadays, pie chart has lost its charm. You know why? There are reasons behind it. If you have some negative data, pie chart is unable to express it. This is the major drawback of pie. And when you have multiple series of particular columns, pie chart is unable to express the entire data at once. So this is the reason why nowadays people are not preferring the pie charts over here. They always go and prefer this kind of bar chart in place. Okay. But anyway, if you have something like this, a revenue data, or you have the percentage data and thing, and your boss is very particular how to plot a pie chart. Let's see. Just watch my screen first. Selecting the data, I'll go for insert and there is an option called pie. In this, I'll go for 2D pie, the very first option. Now, when I go for 2D pie, then I told you I'll go to design and the last time. Then I will delete this legend, which is unwanted, and I'll check the title in the right side. This is the first thing I did. Please do that. So please confirm once it is ready. Then I'll proceed further.
Yes.
All right. Now, once we have done with this over here, the next step, to make it more informative, people, we should go for right click on the pie and go for add data labels. So you could notice each and every pie, the data labels is added, but sometimes the data labels are inside the pie or some are might be going outside of the pie area. But ideally, it is better to go and present your data labels outside of the pie. But how to bring it? Just see. Select one of the data label and right click upon that. You got option called format data labels. Then when you go for it, you can see a dialog box appears, no doubt. In bottom, you find the label position. By default, it shows best fit. Instead, you can go for outside end. So when you choose outside end out of this, automatically all these data labels will be appearing outside of the pie area. Now you can close this window over here, make it bold. Yes. Then over there, increase the font size a bit so that people can read what we are presenting. Okay. Now data labels in pie chart mostly or ideally we prefer to present in terms of a percentage, not in numbers. So now the time has come how to present our data labels in percentage. Right click on any of the data label. If you go for format data labels, you have the option in the window box naming called percentage. One checkbox is not activated. You can activate that. So along with the value, percentage also will be added. So now once percentage is added, there is no point of values. You can simply go and deactivate values option. Then once your value is removed, having only percentage values doesn't make any sense because people may again ask a question, what is this blue color about? What is this orange color about? Before they ask, you should give it. How? There is a checkbox called category name. You can select that and with immediate effect, your entire chart will be populated over there. Your month details also being embedded on that. Yes. But it is not giving such clarity because it is overlapping with one another. So and doesn't make any sense. So how to give a clear picture over here? Just see there is a separator one box is there. In that box, there is a drop down. And when you go to the drop down in the extreme bottom, you have the option called space. And when you click that space, now you can see the entire month and the value details in terms of percentage is appearing in one line. Now, is it giving a clean picture? Yes. Now close this window. So this is how the minimum formatting part we have done and how to make it informative, adding the information. Those things are clear and it is now presentable. Just confirm all are clear up to this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, once we have done this, whatever we have done so far, people, anybody can do that. It's not a rocket science or something extraordinary. We did it. Now the question is, as I told you, when you present your data as it is, nobody likes it. Audience is having a different level of expectation. And what is that? They always expect when you're presenting your data, make sure your data speaks a beautiful story. So how to present our chart in a beautiful storytelling format? See, whenever you have a pie chart, people, you need to first identify the maximum occupancy. Whichever the pie is having the maximum occupancy, first you need to identify. So in our pie chart area, if you look at, our May month is having the maximum occupancy. Do you agree with me? Right? May month is having 16% compared to others. This is containing the maximum occupancy, right? So what you need to do, ensure that whenever you are presenting your data, the maximum occupancy, whichever the pie is having, it should be angling to the left, top left corner, the area, the line what I have highlighted. So basically, technically, if you discuss where November month is there, or May month should be there over here. But how to bring it? We can rotate the pie. But how to rotate the pie? Just see. You can right click on any of the pie and go for Format Data Series. You will be getting one dialog box immediate right on your screen, and there is an option over here called Angle of First Slice. You can see a marker is there, one bar is there. So just slightly take that marker and slide over the bar. You can notice your pie chart starts rotating and rotate in such a way as I showed you the angle. So your measurement should reflect in there. Somewhere it comes about with 136 degrees over here. Okay. Now close this window. Keep your cursor outside of the chart area and select May month. You can notice along with the May month pie, rest of pies are also in selection. Now select May month one more time. Now only May month pie would be in selection. Like the way the moment you go to any pizza corner, like Domino's Pizza or Pizza Hut, you go for dining, or you order like to your home. So when pizza comes, how you take a slice out? Similarly, just take one slice, hold it, and drag it up. And this is going to be turned out to be a beautiful story. So anybody, whoever is watching my data, they can make out during the month of May, we have got the maximum revenue compared to others, right? So this is how people, whenever there is a need, if I need to present my data in the format of a pie chart, how to present it effectively. We got that understanding. Check it out. All of you are getting the same. Any doubt, any queries, feel free to ask. Okay. So now I'll take you through one more chart type people, which will be very, very essential in our routine activities also. So the next chart is just for the information. Like sometimes you may receive if your counterparts or your vendors or customers from the European or American countries, you'll be finding this kind of chart. So this is called benchmark. Okay. And there is no such kind of chart type in the extreme our chart category like waterfall you see or sunburst chart, or if you see the combo chart, there is no such kind of chart name called benchmark chart. This is nothing but the coin term and other versions of your target versus actuals. So going forward, when you see somebody's presenting something like this and naming it something differently, so don't be worried. There's no such kind of chart called benchmark. Okay. Now I'll take you through the automatic chart. What is this automatic chart? Is it something like we'll what I mean just command to Excel plotting the data over there and commanding to Excel plot the graph? Is it possible something Excel can do for us? No. So automatic chart is something we will plot our graph only once in such a way. Whenever we upload our data, the chart will be automatically taken care by Microsoft Excel. So here, take a look. We have got 12 months data. Select from March to December and delete it. Okay, just do that first.
Prabhasi, the values are random whenever I delete.
Yes, yes. Everyone will be having a different value since there is a formula already there called rand between. So each and
Okay,
every click, it is refreshing the data. So don't worry
okay,
about that.
okay.
Yeah. Now, take a look. No need to do anything. Just watch my screen. Suppose say I have got 2 months data. I plotted a graph. That's fine. Okay. But tomorrow, suppose I believe that I have completed my March month business and I plot my data. Do you see the March month data is coming up in my chart area? No. Why it is not coming? So when you see the chart, then only we realizes that the March is not coming up inside the range and that's why it is not being populated. Ideally, we prefer to take our mouse pointer and we just drag it something like this to the below. And then March month we can see. No doubt, whatever we are doing, it is perfectly all right, absolutely fine. But this activity is recurring in nature. Every month end, I have to go and slightly keep on enhancing my range. So this is what is more painful. Now you can ask me a question, Prabhas, what if I go for some anonymous range like this? It will create some unwanted spaces in the chart. So it will lead to a lot of question in the people's mind. They may ask a question from us, why it is showing blanks. Can I say to them, can I express something like this, saying that, sir, we are yet to complete the financial year or we are yet to complete the calendar year. Can I say something like this? This is not the right way to express. So this is the reason why whatever the practice we have got the people, we have to stop doing it. What we can do, take a look. I can select my data. I can convert my data into table. So I told you a keyboard shortcut in day one and day two as well, in day three as well. What is the shortcut?
Control T.
Very good. Go for Control T, T for Tango. And once your data is converted in table, now plot the graph. Alt F1 or function Alt F1. Do all your necessary formattings as we discussed. Remove the grid lines, add the data labels, and now selecting this chart title, we can return in the right side. Now see the beauty. Tomorrow, when I complete my business for the month of March, for the timing, fill the month only. March, it is coming up. April is added. May, it's come up again. June is including in our chart area. So I don't need to focus on my chart. My chart is getting automatically updated over here, whatever I'm plotting with the equal intervals, distance between the columns is remaining same, and data is also being populated as a data labels on the particular columns. See, what is the beauty of doing this is any point of time you want to present your information quarterly, you don't need to show the entire information, just showcase only for that particular quarter, April, May, and June. So what will be happening? Unwanted data we are not displaying to the people. Unwanted questions are not coming out over here. All right. So this is how we have understood how to plot a quick chart over there. And what is the beauty of converting your data into table? We have seen another flavor of that. Just check it out. Is it working? Any doubt? Any queries? Anybody? Feel free to ask.
So do you recommend that any time we are working with the charts, the static table should always be converted to a dynamic table?
Yes, better.
Okay.
Fine. All are clear with our graphical presentations, how to make it and how to take the right call on the selection of the chart type, all these things. So as I told you, that comes out of your experience and practice. So the 10 website names, what I have already shared in day one, just follow them. And if you want to have some more flavor or more insights, more understanding about the charts and graphs or complex chart types, you can always pay a visit to those sites and you'll be getting a lot of insights. But you have to invest your time. All right. So topic wise, our day four, we are done. Any doubt, any queries?
प्रभा जी एक फॉर्मूले के रिगार्डिंग बात करनी थी।
हम्म।
काउंटिप्स के बारे में थोड़ा बताइए ना।
हाँ, काउंट टिप्स, ठीक है। आप बोले कहाँ पे आपको सीखना है काउंट टिप्स के बारे में? Any example of yours you would like to take, or should I go for my example? Choice is
हाँ,
yours.
अभी डेटा नहीं है मेरे पास, बट आपके
Okay.
पास।
You tell me what is the pain, then I'll precisely present it properly. In count tips, what is the pain of yours?
हाँ, मंथली मंथली डेटा ऐड होता रहता है, तो पर्टिकुलरली एजेंट वाइज डेटा निकालना पड़ता है हमें।
Okay.
तो सपोज दिस एजेंट्स परफॉर्म सम ऑफ लिस्टिंग्स, तो गॉट एरर्स मार्क होते हैं ना, तो गुड और एरर्स, बैड एरर्स, इसे सेग्रीगेट करना पड़ता है। तो ऑटोमेटिकली डेटा जब ऐड होता है तो वो क्या बोलते हैं, एजेंट वाइज डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना पड़ता है।
Then better you go for pivot. Why you are going for count tips and all? See, options are there. I mean, if you are already going for it, and when the data is getting extended automatically, the data, I mean, the formula also should be extended accordingly, right? So you cannot go for demanding there over here and automatically it should get updated. So better you go for pivot. And I told you already in pivot case, the source data always format as a table. And whenever there is an addition of row items, your data also just a simple right click refresh, you can update your pivot table. Now, if you want to understand exactly the count ifs formula, how it operates, I can help you out with that. So take an example. Suppose over here, we have the same data. You could see. You want to know, say, over here, we'll make a condition like department is wherever IT is there. And if salary is less than 1,50,000, how many such cases? I repeat, department, which one is IT, and salary we have to take less than 1,50,000. Okay, so this is our condition. If it is satisfying, how many cases are there? We need to identify the result. So we can go for is equal to count ifs because the criteria is more than one. So whenever more than one criteria based sum to be done, we have understood sum ifs. Similarly, wherever more than one criteria based count to be done, count ifs. So what it demands me? Criteria range one. So first we have to look into department. So department column over here. Then it asks me criteria one. So what is my first criteria? Department is IT. So I can take the cell reference or I can take within two double inverted quotes IT. Then what it demands? Criteria range two is the salary. Then again, what it demands? Criteria two. So criteria two is less than 1,50,000. So within two double inverted quotes, less than 1,50,000. Now this gives me 15. This gives me 15. But how to confirm that whatever my COUNTIFs result is right or wrong? The best practice, what you can do over here, as I told you, we'll go for, suppose that this is the data, I'll go for a pivot table. Take an example. I'll go for insert, I'll go for pivot table, and here click OK. Now department. So department I'll go for over here. And what is that? Salary. So salary I'll go for over here. Now department I will choose only IT, and salary. Here there is no such kind of options, but yes, I can choose by adding one more filter. But how to add a filter over here? You have to keep the cursor outside and go for over here data and filter. So this column also will be adding a filter. You can go for that column over here, this filter command, number filters, and less than we have the option, right? So less than you can go for 1,50,000. So when you go for less than 1,50,000 over here in IT department, it is not showing. The reason is in IT department, when I go for this filter, it was not giving the operations properly because it was taking a sum of that, sum of salary. But what we are looking for is the count of salary, right? So I have to go and change first this to count over here, and total 22 cases are there. So 22 cases. Now I'll go for less than number filters and 1,50,000. What happened? Let me see. Less than. Okay. Text filter contains supposed to work. Okay. 15 cases, 22. I think. Let's see that first. So I'll go for salary, salary less than 15,000, 1,50,000. So total, how many cases? Is it showing 15 cases? Yep. So whatever we have computed over here, if you look at, it was showing 15. So we are in the right track now. So this is how you can showcase your count ifs results.
Okay, got it.
Right? Like the way you would do sum ifs, similar format, nothing but. As I told you, you read the formula arguments, it will be pretty clear. I showed you all the formula arguments for sum ifs. Similarly, count ifs also, you have to read the formula arguments. Criteria range 1, criteria 1, criteria range 2, criteria 2, something like that you can do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Prabhasi, hi.
Yeah, tell me.
Just one point. In the same sheet, we have these two tabs. One is the advanced lookup. No, in the same sheet. Yeah. One is the nested if. So we haven't touched. So is it already covered somewhere in the lectures, or do you?
No. It's not necessary that I should cover everything in the 16 hours program. It depends upon the need. Like the moment, if you remember, in day one, I took all your expectations, right?
Yeah.
So when I explain MS365 function, I do not
Right.
explain advanced lookup.
Correct.
If
It
I
covers
explain,
this.
it
Yeah.
is already covered in the different
Okay.
way, but don't
Correct.
worry about it. And when I
Yeah.
go for MS Excel 365, I covered if formula. And if you
Correct.
remember, in day one also I covered if formula.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the
Correct.
reason why there will be a repetition of topics. So just the interest of the time to cover some more topics, I excluded all these things.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
One more question, Prabhaji. There were
Uh-huh.
a few Excel sheets that were shared, full of data.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know. So one is multi-sheet analysis, and there is sales data folder. Do we have to do this for our practice, or?
You can use for multiple purpose. For your practice, you can use that. Or I'll tell you also, because yesterday I have committed something. If you remember, somebody asked me like
Yeah.
how to get the data from different sheets and prepare a
Yeah,
pivot or
I
how
asked
to
it.
consolidate. So I told you, you please stay back. I will explain those things. So that for that purpose, those sheets have been maintained. So you can make use of that purpose as well. So we'll cover that. Don't worry.
Okay, Prabhasji.
Yeah.
And Prabhas, one more question.
Yeah.
Suppose I've got a value in a cell which is alphanumeric, and I want to separate that out, right, or split it into two cells. Numerical value in one cell and the alphabetical in other cell. Can I?
Right.
How can I do that?
Yeah, simple. Like say, take an example. I'll take you through a better example of yours. See, uh, I'll take you a more realistic example.
Okay.
See, mostly what it happens when you have the bill of material case, like the manufacturing industry, when the BOM case is there, they always download the data from the SAP or ERP system or their suppose SQL data server or something. Then they always get the leading zeros along with the data.
Yeah.
So problem is, unless and until they do the data cleansing, they cannot work further. And as per the bin card system, they are following the material code of alphanumeric combinations. So
Mhm.
here, if I want to go for cleaning my data, what I can do, I can simply go for this. If you remember in day two, I told you one data cleansing tool over there called flash fill.
Yeah.
Control B.
So control E for
Yeah.
flash fill. Now we got our records with flash fill, no doubt about it. I'll copy that and I will make it paste special value. Now suppose I want only for my alphabets into one and the numerics into others. Then again, it shows the case if you have the data of consistent type, you can go for, but here the data is of inconsistent type. So we may face the trouble. But if you have the data of consistent type, the job will be very easy. So if you remember, I showed you over there in our case, if you recall, like the moment you go for this, our data, desktop, advanced Excel, yeah, case studies. So here, uh, the other day we discussed about all these things.
Yeah.
Now, suppose say I have got some alpha numeric combinations of data, like my employee code or anything, something is there. So I'll take you through some text challenge. Yes. Like see, we have got the customer codes.
Mhm.
Now I need alphabets in one, numerics in others, correct? So I can go for just typing one alphabet over here and then control E. Can you see all the alphabets we have separated
Yeah.
at once?
Yeah. Yes.
Similarly, if I go for numerics, but I told you exclusively when you go for the numbers, if it starts with zero, those zeros also we want. Then you go for apostrophe and type zeros, how many you want, and one. So this is my first case. This is the data, except my alphabet. These are the numbers I need to extract it. Yes. So what will be happening? This will store the data as a text. Now I'll go for control E and I got my data properly.
Okay. Yeah. So, but when the data is inconsistent, I mean, as you showed, right?
Yeah, that is what I'm telling. You
What
have to
should be
try.
the
You
technique
have
for that?
to, yes, you can go for it. The complex situation, like where the maximum character is there. Suppose this is the maximum character, I believe. I'll go to that
Hmm.
case. Then I'll take this over here, CBOX. Okay. Then I'll go for over here, Control E. So wherever you see the alphabets are there, can you see everything?
Yeah.
Though it is one, two, three, or four also, I could receive my data.
Yeah.
But here there is no alphabet. So probably I could eliminate this. This may not be some right data I have received. Maybe some dilution of the data could be the case. But as I understand, my data must contain one alphabet. Maybe one, two, three, that's a different story. So I can eliminate this. We can filter out more, something we can do. But at least 90% data we got cleaned, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Thank you
similarly,
so
you can go for the other one and bring this numerical value. So numerical value, as I told you, what you should do, you should go for first selecting the data, what you are going to extract over here, copy
much.
that, go to the next column, and there. You just go for apostrophe and paste it. Then go for Control E. Then only you can get it.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
see,
thank you so much.
it worked in this case, this C box for cell C. And there is a numerical value in the column D. So the flash will look only for the immediate left column, or it will still be able
Immediate
to.
left, immediate left, or immediate right also. If the data is there in the right side of my data, I can go and apply flash fill in left. In the adjacent column, it should be there. Ideally, we always recommend it should be in the column C or column E if I'm operating with column D. My source data should be in column C or column E. And
Okay.
why it has responded over here? Because our source data in column B and somewhere we have matching data we have extracted with flash fill. So since
Ah,
it is an artificial intelligence tool, it is trying to map it and it is getting because we are not applying any logic of its over here.
right, right. Because
Yes.
if you do not have C in between, or if the C is blank, then D won't populate, right? You have to
No, it
have
will
some.
not work. It will not work.
Okay, okay, clear.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yes. Any other questions before we're going for the next topic? Because as per the commitment topics, the session is over here. So I stop the recording. Okay.